Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys how to mod Gamesir G7 controller to take it from these terrible tactile switches on the back to some linear slash tactile keyboard switches. I got it on my keyboard, add extras laying on. So these are what I'm gonna be putting. You can put any cherry switch or whatever you want in the back. So basically the plan is to put them like right up against this, like to like a diagonal, like across, and then glue it in place. So it's like sticking out. You'll see when I'm done. But once you take the controller apart, basically, you take the front plate off. It's gonna expose the screws in the front. After you take that front plate off, you just get a security, I think, security screw right here. It's this tip right here. And that's how you basically unscrew. I had this from a little joystick kit I had laying around. But yeah, you basically, and then this is the caps I was gonna use from my old Series X controller. I like these better because the stock one that comes with it is like they're not like concave, so they like stick out and you can't rest your thumb inside the joystick when you're trying to use it. So I got some Gorilla Glue right here. I was basically glued this part that holds in the little button mechanism that fits inside of there, fits on this side. It fits under there and it latch into those two latches and it basically fits under here. So I took this piece out and then I put some super glue on this side to glue it to right here so it doesn't move, and then also do the same thing on here. So when I'm finished, it should like just slide into place. I got a glue gun and soldering iron on standby. So I'm gonna pause and then I'm gonna solder the two wires onto the back of these two tactile switches. One right here, one right here, one right here, one right here, and then basically I'm gonna use the little fine wire. I got this off of a old I don't know if we could focus. I got it off an old motherboard ribbon cable, like those solid copper wires. Yeah, that's what I'm using. Little fine wires. But basically, once I solder it, I'm gonna cover it with some hot glue so it doesn't move or anything, and I'm gonna like connect it. So as you can see, I soldered the wires around the button. I'm gonna cover this now in hot glue. There we go, covered in hot glue. Now I just gotta wait for it to dry. And now I got the second one glued up. So I'm gonna basically run the wires out the back and then solder them. Now I'm going to test one of the connections that I've made to make sure the button's working. So I'm gonna plug it in with the Type-C connector, and then I have the Nexus application launched. As you can see, I press the button and the A button works. Now that I got both of them soldered, got the A and B, that's what I have them bound to, but basically those are the keys now. I had to deattach these things because I couldn't get the linear switch to fit you, but these are things I was talking about earlier. I'm going to re-glue them in place. Ran into an issue where I had to melt the glue to get it to fit inside of here. Once you got the board back, don't forget to push the triggers in, or you're going to have the problem like me where I forgot to push the trigger in. So you have to push it in so it like latches on that little nub on the inside, so it doesn't go anywhere. There, I had to re-screw it back in, but now you can see it. The triggers are working. Now you're gonna be going into reverse, basically putting the controller back together. Now you have the little brace port. You're just gonna slide it in. It should slide right in. Like, get it to fit. There you go. Snaps right in place. Make sure the buttons click. Yeah. Once the button click, the other part you're gonna have to put all the buttons in the faceplate. So you're gonna have to do this step upside down. So you gotta put all the buttons in there and then flip this upside down. Once the motors are plugged in, like the connector's supposed to be upside down, and then you plug those in to right there. I just labeled them with a Sharpie to make it easier to remember when I was taking it apart. But yeah, now you're here for the faceplate. All the buttons are in place, and you just have to flip this part over. Once you click in here, snap, tighten all the screws. Okay, I found it. And put it on. And now put this back on. Now we make our way to the back to now glue these in place. So I got the first one and I just bunched up the wire there after I put some glue, and then I put the switch on top of it. So the wire is like behind it. Then put some glue in the side to hold it and wait for it to dry, and then put some more. And you're gonna keep doing that until it hardens. And there you go, finished project. Now I'm on Apex. I got this one bound to A, as you can see, it jumps, and then this one bound to crouch. This one I have it on whole crouch, so as you can see, it's way more responsive. So if you like wanna like bunny hop and like jump on here, but yeah, it's way more responsive than the tactile switches I had before.